How's she going, my son, and welcome back to Path of Exile. Now, I did a little work in between the last recorded episode and this one to Michelozo here. I decided to scrap the elemental hit skill because I found did just the napkin math. The frost blades was doing more damage on single target anyway, even if the area of effect is, you know, air quotes, wasted on the single targets because obviously there's no one else to hit. But I mean, just the initial hit that leads into the icicles does enough damage anyway, so fuck it. I also decided to switch out of the dual wielding because I looked at the skills I might be using. I might switch to Wild Strike later on, but that's not till level 28. We're only 13. But they all really don't benefit from dual wielding, so I'm just like, well, shit, I might as well use a shield instead. So, you know, I just grabbed myself something from the shop. And we're going to use the princess for a while, because she's a good weapon. Even if she does make you take more damage from spoopy skeletons and ghosts. But anyway, we just brutalized Brutus. And so now we have to go through the prisoner's gate. Or rather, we have to go around the prisoner's gate, because Piety is a bitch and closed the door on us. More or less. I mean, I guess that means I don't use Orb of Storms anymore either. But I'll keep leveling it, because I'm probably going to go Wild Strike later, which is a move that, step 1, converts all of your physical damage into a single element. One of the classic 3, Fire, Ice, Lightning. And also does like an elemental nonsense, depending on which one it is. Explosion if it's fire, Chain Lightning if it's lightning damage, and Cold Waves if it's cold damage that it turned into. And, you know, once we get that, I'll switch to that. And then Orb of Storms will go off, because that's because similar to how it worked with Elemental Hit, Wild Strike has the tags of, well, all the elements. Fire, Ice, Lightning. So since it's a lightning move, it'll also trigger Lightning Orb. However, since I'm a little over-leveled, this is only a level 10 area, and I'm level 13, it's actually best if I kind of scoot ahead here. Use my, Oh, and I also remap my buttons a little bit, so you don't hear me mashing the spacebar as much, but you're probably going to hear a bit of it because it's usually where I put my movement skill, because, well, you know, spacebar is like the jump button in like almost every game ever now, so why not make it my move button in another game? Excuse me, gentlemen. Me and the princess have a date with some spoopy skeletons, which I just realized is not the best thing in the world for me, because it's going to make me take more damage, but, It's this early, it's not going to be that big of a problem. Ooh. Excuse me, boys. Just want to grab that. That somehow survived the fire. Okay. The Ship Graveyard. Yeah, this game has a lot of, what would you call it? Nautical. Ooh.
I'm usually the one making the ghosts. Someone's being busy.
Oh yeah, I rebalanced the audio a bit. The game itself should be louder, so because I got it turned up in OBS, but I should overpower it. Or at least be able to be heard over it. So that, you know, you don't lose my commentary to the sounds of battle. But at the same time, the sounds of battle, I have never seen them spawn that high before. Huh. Okie dokie. Ew. Anyone else see that leg twitch? Ugh. Anyway, crud, lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, rebalance the audio. Should be able to hear character dialogue a lot better without me having to be like dead silent. Even though, you know, I won't talk to interrupt them.
Frankly, I would have been surprised if you hadn't recognized me. Yes, 'tis I, Captain Sigmund Fairgraves, wave tamer, pirate bane, and conveyor of civilization to barbaric lands. So, what am I doing here? Apart from blowing my own bugle? I'm marooned, languishing, thanks to a pair of pretty blue eyes. Stuck fast in the filthy mud of Rayclast, thanks to one sultry little slave girl. I liberated her from the flesh pits of Trathos, and she repaid me in full with sleight of hand and swift feet. turned the coat of my first mate, took my hard-earned all-flame, and with it the wind out of me sails. Find my all-flame, I beg of you. Till I feel its warmth again, I'm trapped here, high and dry, until the sun's final setting.
You know, repaying him with sleight of hand and swift feet, that still sounds like a sexual favor. Just a thought.
I hunted the vagaries of a near-forgotten myth to a shattered cathedral in the Inner Empire. I took the all-flame and encased it within a lantern of pure silver, the only element it seemed incapable of consuming. Oh, the all-flame does many a marvelous thing in the hands of one who knows how to harness its power. Oh, banish any thoughts of using it for yourself. It would burn you alive. My loveliest neighbor in this most salubrious of neighborhoods. Facing Merveil and finding my all-flame are two mutually exclusive endeavors. I'd much prefer you to live to see your errand fulfilled. Although it is possible that my wayward slave girl fell prey to one of Merveil's slithering progeny. If that be the case, you look resourceful enough to handle a tentacled wench or two. But if Merveil herself has my flame, be very wary. That necklace of hers provides the old siren with some subtle wiles indeed.
I don't know if I'd call her power subtle, considering I have seen her many times already, but I'll take your word for it.
If the history books are to be believed, Doreso the Daring presented the necklace to Merveil on bended knee. And from the moment he placed that little chunk of rayclast at her throat, Merveil began to sing. It's told her sweet voice grew to fill even the largest concert halls of Oriath, and brought warmth to even the coldest of hearts. But then she began to change. Her mind and body twisted, as did her songs. For the sweetness remained, while the sanity fled. Knowing what little I do about the powers that lie dormant here in Rayclast, I'd surmise that if you have Merveil's necklace, you have the siren's voice. Till we meet again, perhaps.
I do like the lore on the sirens in this. You know, like, for the record, these things, these squid monsters, those are sirens. They, you know, Merveil has a form you're more comfortable with set up, but that's what they really are. Be-tentacled monstrosities that happen to have a great singing voice. Excuse me, gentlemen. I am just looking for a lost ship. No. Oh, no. Slow aura. Should stick around and fight the rares anyway. Ah, boo. No drops. You know, could drop something relevant. Whoop. Nope. I can't let the spoopy ghosts hit me. Because the princess makes me take more damage. Ah. Okay, it's probably over this way. I've been running into some confusing configurations of this particular zone lately. Makes, like, very not straightforward. Because, you know, this game is randomized, but... Oop, that's a rare. This game is randomized, but it has some set patterns that are recognizable. But, I mean, hell, they probably added a bunch that I'm not aware of yet. Yeah, I already got those. Oh, another rare. Another slow aura one. Go away. Oh, Plague Mask. Neat. Do I have anything in my helmet? I do, but it could be, well, we'll pick it up for now. Because that's actually the... I don't know. No, that's not the first Shadow helmet. That's the second one. Because the first one is the Scare Mask. Which is literally just like... You know, I called it a BDSM hood But looking at it again, I think it's more like a, it's kind of more like what the Scarecrow wears in the Batman series, which is like pretty much just a sack. Ooh, Vol side area. Players have elemental equilibrium. Unique bosses have increased damage, increased attack speed, more items to find. Now, elemental equilibrium is an interesting thing, and it's a thing I'm going to actually exploit once I get to Wild Strike. Oh boy. Take that. Aha. But what happens when something has an attack has elemental equilibrium? When you hit a target with an element, it becomes resistant to that element by 50%? Question mark? It's over here. No, they get 25 resist, but then they lose 50 to all the other elements. However, it does take into account if you hit them with multiple elements. So if you hit them with all the elements at once, you're only giving them resistance. So that's not a very good thing to be doing. However, if you... there's two ways to exploit elemental equilibrium in a positive way, because as you notice, the game actually throws it at you as a penalty in some areas, because they know you're going to be specializing in elements on some characters. Like, the Marauder is particularly good with fire skills, like the fire melee attacks. Excuse me. The, I mean, and of course the Witch, you know, you typically pick an element and stick with it. But there's two ways to exploit elemental equilibrium. The first is that minions don't trigger it. Like, they don't make an elemental swap happen. So you throw out a skill that does an element that they're not using. Like, typically you make them use fire, and then you throw, like, lightning and cold at something with, like, a modified lightning spell or whatever, like modified ball lightning. And then, you know, the minions are dealing a bonus 50% damage, because the way resistances work in this game is that it's an absolute value, meaning, you know, you can reduce someone's resistance below 0. And it's just linear decrease based on any resistance removing ability you have, or penetration. Another thing you get later. See if I can get him at range. Come on. Oh, geez. Goat man. Very fast goat man. I'm just gonna keep stabbing you. Gotcha. Alright. But the method I'm gonna probably use, because I think I will be picking up elemental equilibrium at some point, but getting over there is gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass. Won't be the best way. Would it be better to go through here? Yeah, it might be a long-term goal, but I'm thinking I might go down this way. Get this infamous life sandwich over here. This seems to be in, like, everybody's build, and it's for good reason. Because it's, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 55, no, 35, 49% increased life with a raw 20 max life thrown in there. It's pretty good. It's like a little under 50% life. And, yeah, elemental equilibrium's over there. I mean, I could get it faster if I went up this way, got some energy shield, and then grab it this way, but I don't know if I need it that early. Then again, I get whatchamajigger. I get a Wild Strike at level 28. That was a Vol Gem. Vol Gems are like skill gems, but they don't load up, they are not powered by your mana. They are powered by souls. And to be specific, number of kills. I think I'll equip this just to see what it looks like. Again, I'm not much of a trap guy in this game. But, you know, we'll see what happens. Now, I was a little concerned that I wasn't getting a whole lot of life on this character. Because on my own time, I've been having some issues with some other characters in terms of life. And I kind of want to rectify that. Not sure where to go to grab it, though, is the problem. Because, like, life is a red statistic, so it's more over here. But the shadow is, like... on the opposite end of the tree where all the good life stuff is. Right? I mean, there's some life down here, which isn't too bad. And because it's staple to evasion. Well, I said I was going to get this coordination node, but I went and deviated up here, so we'll grab the life node here, and we'll just head down to it, and then we'll figure out where we're going from there. Figure out where we are going from there. Speaking of where we are going, where the hell is this ship? There's only so many places it can be on this bloody map. Come on. I don't know if it stuck after. Ah, there it is. But I also changed the resolution a little bit. Should make it look a little better. I did get a new graphics card, though, which is why I can even play this game at a recordable, acceptable quality, which is pretty good. I really should stop killing. Can't help it, though. It's so fun. That's going to be taken out of context. That's going to be taken horribly out of context. Yeah. Just keep skirting away. Man, I don't even bother with the Harbinger, man. Not worth it. I mean, unless he follows me. Which he might. Yeah. Okay, so... how do I approach this? Well, that was pretty badass. That was the Vol skill. Requires 48 souls to power it. No, 48 monster kills. That one is a buffed lightning trap. I'm assuming lightning trap isn't that good normally. But I really don't have a point of comparison because I've never used regular lightning trap. I've never used regular any trap in this, really. Whoop, 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 whoop. We could probably fit getting to Merveil and killing her in this episode, too. Since I'm not sticking around and fighting everything in this area. And I've actually fought her recently without max cold resist, and it does make the fight... without max cold resist. It does make the fight a little dicier, but it's not undoable. And I mean, she's the last boss of the first act. She's not going to be impossible to get past.
My Allflame. My blessed, damned Allflame. Oh. You want your moment of firelight now, do you? Unfortunately, necessity is what it is. And for the Allflame to give life, it must first be kindled with life. And since suitable kindling is in short supply around these parts, I have little option but to make do with what I have. Namely, you.
Now, I'm going to have to skip some dialogue here, because that happens. God, they're ghost skeletons. It's even worse. Actually, honest question. I wonder if I take 20% increased damage from these guys because they are spoopy skeleton ghosts. Boop! Gotcha.
I almost feel sorry for you, Fairgraves. Dying twice can't be fun.
Oop, tricorn. What am I losing? Not much. I mean, take it with me to sell, but not losing much. Ditch that thing since I have a badass pirate hat. Or not pirate hat. What would you call that? I mean, it's the Bloodborne Hunter hat, but I know it's obviously a real hat from somewhere else. I just can't quite put my finger on it. I might have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some better stuff here. No, well, the gloves are fine. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take the shoes. Rip running speed. Oh god, base speed again. Actually, slightly worse than base speed, because all armor inherently has a hidden modifier of reducing your speed. There's a talent in the freaking duelist section of the tree that negates this, but unfortunately, I do not have. You know, it's quite the ways away. It's this one down here, so I have to go clean through another character to get to that one, and not the most practical of options. Now, admittedly, as a shadow, you get move speed in your tree a little bit too, and a lot of it around your character, so it's not as big a problem. And I do believe, I might be wrong on this, but I do believe the leather armors, like the evasion/evasion shield type armors, don't give as much of a movement penalty, which would make sense, because, I mean, you know, they're meant to be mobile. It's meant for the sneaky, movie runny types, instead of the, you know, sit there and take it like a man types. You know, that's what the armor is for. That's what the heavy armor is for.
Merveil dwells in the caves beyond the wrecks, at the head of Siren's Cove. Leave her be, and we can only hope that she continues to return the favor. If you must take your chances with the Siren, then have this. It may be of some help. But please, know that you don't have to do this. Tarkley and I are getting used to having you around.
Aww. Okay, we have the skill Reeve. Attack a small area in front of you. Each Reeve that hits an enemy makes the area bigger. The area is reset after a short period without hitting anything. Only works with daggers, claws, and one-handed swords. Ice Nova. Chilling circle of ice expands from the caster. If the caster targets near one of their frostbolt projectiles, which is that one of the skills you get at first, it will expand from the projectile instead. Fire Nova Mine. Lay a remote mine that you can detonate to create a series of Fire Novas. Each sequential Nova from the same mine will do higher damage than the previous. Lightning Trap. There's the regular one. Throws a trap that launches a ring of projectiles throughout the enemy that set it off, dealing damage to them and subsequent targets. So what's the difference? Leave shocking ground, which is nice. Not sure what else. Blade Vortex. Spell creates an ethereal blades which orbit an area around you, dealing damage every 0.6 seconds to all enemies in their radius. As more blades are added, the damage becomes greater and more frequent. And Essence Drain. Fires a projectile that implies a dot. Debuff when it hits, you were healed for a portion of the damage of it. The debuff is spread by Contagion, which is another skill. I played a witch that was based on Essence Drain Contagion. It was pretty good. You know, we're in a bit of an experimenting mood in this playthrough, so I'm going to grab another trap. Hang on. I'm going to put this away. Don't think I'll use... I mean, this is cool, but I think I'll just... Slight problem. Yeah. Should I just use that one? Maybe. Yeah, fuck it, why not?
The rings that bind grow tighter, the plate thicker, the leather denser, all with a single touch.
Kabam!
The rings...
Yeah. You already said that. You're repeating yourself. Okay, gotta identify that to sell it. Oh, if you're wondering, this is a unique I'm gonna use later. The Might Flay. It's a BFK. That's big freaking knife.
What little help I can offer is yours.
I think I'll start skipping the little chit-chat dialogues. Because, I mean, they're the same on every character anyway. It's not like you get any unique dialogue depending on which class you are.
Fairgraves was a good man, a fine explorer. He opened the door to many a new world, for better or for worse. Usually for worse, when it came to the natives. There's some peace in the knowledge that he now rests where he should. Let's not speak of Fairgraves again, shall we? He was an inspiration to many. 'Twould be a shame to spoil a good hero.
A skill point buys my silence. Okay, so, bam, coordination. Attack speed up, cast speed up, which might be relevant later, but I don't know for now. And some dex and intelligence. Boop. Guess I need to grab...
Welcome.
What do I need to grab? Don't think there's definitely not going to be any better weapon for a while. Oiled vest is what I'm using. Shoes I have better. Yeah, I think we just move forward. This might be somewhat long of an episode. I don't have a timer running, and it's easy to lose track of time when you're playing this game. Sailor skin.
Welcome, husband. We knew in our hearts that you would find us. Come, Doresso. Ambrosia and Amarissa must meet their father. Come, my love. Return to your family.
Yes, because that's totally not creepy at all. I'm gonna write a lovely little sweet nothings note to my husband on someone else's skin. Sure. Let's do that. Ooh, orb. That's what this game's like sometimes. It throws weird, disturbing shit at you, but then it's like, ooh, shiny. I always get a kick out of when you kill spirits in this, they go straight up. Well, unless they explode like that, but, you know. When they get to play their normal animation, they fly upward, so it gives you the impression, oh, I've sent them to heaven. Speaking of spirits,
Warrior.
Bumblebee tuna to you too.
The ancestors favor us, my ally.
Let's get in here quick. Or I get the shit kicked out of me. You know, it implies that they're going to heaven, the spirit monsters, when they die. I would love it if there was, like, a super low chance. Like, super fringe, super low odds, like, Easter eggy chance of, might as well clear this out, actually. Of, one of the spirits being pulled down into, like, an infernal portal instead of being brought up. Because, I mean, not everybody goes to heaven. It's not the bad people. You know, not that forgiveness is not always available, but, I mean, some people take their pride to the grave, and, well, that's kind of what happens. Not to get too religious, but, you know. I mean, that's kind of true of a lot of religions anyway, that have, like, a paradise afterlife. Because, I mean, the idea is that the good go to the good place, the bad go to the bad place. It's not a terribly complicated concept, or exclusive concept, really. Although I do notice a lot of Eastern religions don't really have that. You either, like, reincarnate, or, there is just a unified afterlife. That was a Greek thing, too. It's just that everyone goes there. Bad or good. Won't be needing any of them. Gloves? Nah. Well, they were the chest. Yeah, we're good. Let's boogie. Oh god, he's gonna revive everybody. No! And I can't use my movement skill or I drop him. Yes, that's a mechanic. Oh boy. This is gonna get ugly. Yes, it even resurrects the rare guys, but it doesn't give you more loot, which is annoying. Okay, well, I don't need to kill him. Just had to get him out of my way. Oh, boy. This would have to basically be a hall closet kind of tight quarters. Although, speaking of, this game is really bad at giving you room to fight bosses later on. Some areas aren't too bad, like Merveil's area is pretty spacious. Talk to Haku real quick.
Another of Keaton's.
Sorry, gotta move. I know they're not bothering you for some reason, but they are bothering me. But yeah, like the boss arenas in this are, for some of the later fights, are really small. Fun fact, those ghosts that you see that are tempting your character, they are dependent on if you're wearing a character, if you're using a character that's male or female. All the characters, you know, they have their typical, what you would expect, the, like, heterosexual orientation. Except the Ranger. The Ranger's ghosts that tempt her are other women. Just gonna leave that hanging in the open there. Draw your own conclusion. I don't know if it's been confirmed what she is one way or the other, but I mean, there's a lot of hints. Or I mean, well, not a lot, I guess, but at least there's two major ones. There's that one, and there's a boss later I'll bring up when it happens. Oh, that prophecy I had earlier also is going to kick in here somewhere. You will defeat the bubbling gold that rises from gold piles. Okie dokie. Guess it's just an extra monster spawn. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid over-leveling a bit in this. I'm probably going to be a bit over-leveled anyway, because I mean, I already am. So unless I really start skipping, like, everything, the game's not going to be able to catch up with me that well. But you can be, like, a couple levels over without being a problem. But if you're way over-leveled, you start not getting currency drops. Because, you know, the way the currency works in this game, theoretically, a high-level character, if they didn't have this system, if a high-level character went into a low-level area, they would be rewarded just as much in currency as if they were in their proper zone. Oh, hello. You're a unique one. I'm going to kill you. Groovy. Silver coin. But yeah. The, trying to see if the whatever thing I'm supposed to fight spawns. I'm gonna meander around a little bit, see if I can find him before I go fight the boss, because she's, like, right through there. Because I don't want to miss this prophecy encounter. I mean, it'll still be here, but, you know, I mean, I don't want to double back and get it. Kind of want to catch it as it is. But like I was saying, the way currency works in this game, a character would be rewarded in currency as equally for fighting, like, rats, basically, at high level as they are fighting, like, fucking dragons. They didn't want that to happen. So, if you're over-leveled, you start getting penalties on the amount of experience, or not, well, experience too, but, penalties on the number of, currency orbs that drop. And this becomes a really big problem if you're over-leveled. This was a problem I always had back when I played this game way ages ago when it was still pretty new. And like back when it only had the 3 acts instead of the 10, and it just did the Diablo thing where, like, the game just loops and it gets harder. You know, instead of expanding the plot. Huh. Yeah, I'll look up where that is later. Maybe it's in the, maybe it might even be in the boss room. Oh, yep, it's in the boss room. Oh shit, they're full of loot.
I'm a gardener, clearing the weeds so that the crops may grow.
Is that all of them? Kind of hope that's all of them, because this is the boss fight. Oops. And I'd rather not deal with the boss at the same time I'm trying to fight all these things. Not bad drops, though. They've all dropped currency of some kind. And a rare.
Beckoned by the siren song.
Oh boy. So, this is Merveil. That's her pretty form, by the way.
Dinner is
Oh god. She mostly spams ice spells, spawns weapon copies. Spawns copies of her weapons to fly at you and stab you. Teleports, kind of annoying. Not too big of a problem, though. Oh god, unless you're standing in it. Ow. Oh boy. Running out of health potion. Oh god. Okay. And now she's in her ugly form. Blah. Horrible tentacle monster. Oh god. Get away from that. Yeah, she sings, which does the short-range frost AoE that just keeps going. Drops these frost, like, geyser things. And just... yeah, she has frost wave shots. And spawns in dudes. But thankfully, due to the way potions work in this, the spawned in dudes are actually more of a help than a hindrance. I mean, they are still trying to actively kill you. But, I mean, they're so easy to kill. Free potions. Free potion charges, basically. A lot of fights have little disposable minions for you to kill like that. Come on, she's so close. No, crap. Gotta treat it like a Dark Souls boss. Just because she's almost dead does not mean you sklack. Oh.
My first dance with a lady of quality. Pity she let herself go like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Merveil. Let's see if we got anything good. Not much for yours truly. Magic hat, though. Yeah, because this hat's just regular. Huh. I'll take some more evasion rating. Ooh, damp diary.
Doresso gave me the gem, kissed me, promised that he would be by my side forever. I sang for him. I sang for Oriath with his gem at my throat. Khaleesi's gem. Khaleesi's voice. I sang in her echo, performing arias that had once made the Empire weep. I listened to Khaleesi's lullabies in my dreams. I gave myself to her music, mind and body. Doresso left me for San with a promise to free me from Khaleesi. I begged him not to go, tried to show him the wonder of my transformation, the beautiful daughters he would soon meet. He couldn't see. None of them could see. I fled from their hatred. When Doresso returns, I will cast his cure away. I will teach him what true love is.
I believe that's what the Japanese call Yandere, which is short for psycho love. Anyway. Bam.
Oh, Forest. Death has too many damned places to hide in a forest.
I got ahead a little bit with another shadow I'm playing, a poison-based one. And his dialogue gets pretty funny. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description as usual. Please engage in all three. Click on the bell when subscribing. Makes YouTube realize, hey, do you like this guy's content? We're going to show you more of this guy's content. And it also helps you immediately know when I do upload new things. Path of Exile. We have officially entered Act 2, which is in the jungle. Which is pretty dope. There's a brief moment where we go back to Act 1 just to let people, like, once we open up the path. Because remember, that quest line is still happening. Isn't it? It should be. Oh, here it is. The way forward. Made your way into the forest, find the encampment, and look for someone who knows where the other side of the block passes. Yeah. You know, that quest technically ends in the Act 1 area, which is interesting. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and ciao for now.